Welcome back to the Dean Obeidallah Show. It's Friday, August 15th. It's the third hour, which you can only meet on this show because of a lack of creativity. What just happened? It's back now every Friday. And we have three great people back. Jessica Brodkin's back, comedian, Reiki healer, and former CIA officer. And I'm not kidding, a former CIA officer. Jessica, nice to see you.
Great to see you. Great to be back. Love you so much.
Very. Brittany Brave is back, a former FBI agent. No, I'm kidding about that, but comedian from Miami to New York City, feature NBC, MTV, Wendy Williams show, SiriusXM shows, and much more. Hi, Brittany. What are you doing?
I'm enjoying my life. You also forgot one of my credits. I'm also a former CIA officer.
Oh. And also here is back Jason Selvig, my favorite part of the comedy duo, The Good Liars, because Rom canceled on us. So it's easy to say. You check out their stuff on social media. They're wildly popular. Jason and the Rom go to the Trump rallies all the time and talk to people. And you don't even mock them, Jason. You talk to them, and it's very revealing because they share their real views. So I found it really informative and entertaining in a weird way. So nice to see you again.
Great to be here. I'm having a hard time talking now, but great to be here. I'm great. Great. Everything's great. Yeah.
This is the beginning.
It's the beginning.
This is fine.
Yeah, but before we went on, you just mocked me. You had like four jokes just mocking me one after the other.
Stop. That's not. Please forgive me for the mocking.
Cyberbullying is Dean's love language.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm from Jersey. We mock everything. I don't know what to say. People say, like, why do you talk like that? I go, I had one guy, a professor from Yale, and he said to me, where are you from? And I go, I'm New Jersey. He goes, oh, that explains your brassness. Like, I'm brash. Like, I'm brash. That was the brashness. And I'm like, what a nice way of saying I'm a dick. Like, you know.
Are Jersey people more brash than New Yorkers?
I think from North Jersey. North Jersey, we have a lot to prove.
Okay, yeah.
We're just, as someone who was born in
sibling.
North Jersey, we're just bitter and jealous that everyone pays more attention to our hotter sister, New York City. They don't give us the credit that we deserve. So we have a little chip on our shoulder. That's why we're mean.
This has been better than therapy, which I never go to.
Thank you for explaining.
100%. I have a lot of issues to work. Why work them out there when I can work them out on my show and on stage in front of strangers, right? Why pay someone a copay? So let's start with something that's kind of a sort of a layup, but it's one that we can all have a discussion, because on my show earlier in the week, we had a robust discussion about it. The Consumer Price Index came out this week, and it said food prices went up 0 in the last month, 0. And I'm like, where are they shopping? Because that's not what I'm seeing. Now, again, if you're seeing no increase in food prices at grocery stores, so be it. But people called and we shared our views. So I just want to start with that, because it's hard to believe anything from the Trump regime. And this one was kind of glaring on Tuesday. So let's go with you, Jessica. I mean, I don't know if you shop, you have a personal shopper. How does it work with you?
I like that you think I have personal shopper money. Thank you so much. Well, maybe he's just thinking about the hot dogs in Costco. Maybe he's just measuring the hot dogs in Costco and the rotisserie chicken there. I think that's and the Arizona iced teas. I think that those are the only things that are staying at the same price.
So, but what about you? When you go to the store, have you seen, I know it's hard to actually go like what went up from July 1st to July 30th. Oh. I get that because everything's just been rising all the time, but it seems impossible to believe it went up 0 last month on average.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I believe in data and numbers. I just don't believe them from a regime that is trying to take over all of our media.
Wow. And that's coming from a former CIA officer who would review data. And I'm not kidding. She was
like reviewing data. That's what I did. Yeah.
That's what you do. Okay, Brittany, what about you? You traveling the world a lot. I don't know. Maybe there's low prices that I'm missing.
No, I'm going to go with Jessica on this one, that I think the math isn't mathing. As I walked to my coffee shop this morning and I got a cold brew and a bottle of water, and it was $9. So what? I spent $9 before without even being awake for an hour. So I do think the food prices are rising. But you know what? If you're greedy and you live in the top 1% and you're a Republican, and you might not notice prices rising because you have money. So, but for me, even if they didn't rise in July, they're still pretty bad. Let's put it
$9 for coffee.
Yeah.
And a cup of water.
Yeah. I got a cold brew and I got a small bottle of water, and I've lived in New York City beforehand, and I know everything's inflated, but I said, I think you double charged me. And they said, nope, it's $9.08. And I was like, okay, Well, guess we
Were
can't
you-
eat for the rest of today.
Did you get this at a movie theater? Or was this
No,
like
a New York City coffee shop.
It was inside
Movie-
Madison Square Garden.
Exactly.
That's where I always get my coffee. Yeah.
Exactly.
What about you, Selvig? You're traveling the world. You're talking to Trump supporters. Do you ever bring up, I'm not kidding, have you brought up yet to them inflation? Because I think that's interesting to see if they're denying it, that there's any rise in prices yet.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. We haven't been out since the sad birthday parade for Donald Trump. We haven't actually been like on the ground
yeah.
talking with a lot of Trump supporters. But I have noticed it personally, like going and shopping at the store, like some of the produce is more expensive now, coffee's more expensive. And like a lot of people are attributing it to the tariffs from Trump. I mean, a lot of these places are coming from places that have steep tariffs on them. And I do think I don't trust the numbers. Just to echo what everyone else was saying, like I don't trust the numbers from the Trump administration right now. But I've seen it, and you see, like the prices have been going up, for a very long time now. It's like
Right.
Chipotle, a burrito used to be $5 for $5.90 for a chicken burrito, like 15 years ago. Now it's like $16 or something like that. And I base everything on Chipotle because
And
I have
15
like
years
a
ago.
love-hate.
Right.
Well, yes, yeah.
Just
Things
weird.
were different there. So
Right.
I definitely have experienced it going to the grocery store and seeing it. But I do think a lot of the Trump supporters, and we've talked about this before, it's like they will echo what Donald Trump says. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody says the prices are higher, but that's okay because he's getting all this money in tariffs, and somehow that money is going to make it back into my wallet, even though there's really no plan for that, and the deficit's getting higher and higher every single day. So I wouldn't be surprised. Hopefully, in the next few days, we're going to actually be talking to some Trump supporters. I wouldn't be surprised if we heard that from
Yeah,
people.
This Trump guy, I'm getting the feeling you can't trust his words or his numbers. I'm getting.
Really? What? He said he's got the best numbers. He says
I
he's got the
don't
best
think
people,
he's
the
good
best
at
numbers.
talking or counting. I don't think so.
You know who's
When I-
great at counting food prices, actually? Cardi B.
And what does Cardi B say?
So Cardi B, I don't know if she did a study but she actually watches her finances really, really closely, and she actually watches her grocery bill and like talks about it on social media. So Cardi
Wow.
B is the financial analyst that we didn't see coming.
She and
And
my
what did
mom
she-
would have a lot in common.
So what does Cardi say about the prices? Can you?
I mean, she was complaining about it a while ago. I don't know. So she was on her social media, like going through, and people are like, "Oh, you're rich. Why do you care?" And she's like, "How do you think I stay rich?" And she was just like going through the grocery bills.
And is she very analytical, or is there a lot of like B
She's
words
really
and C
analytical
words?
about.
and-
I mean, I think that it's both. I think that it's
Okay.
like analyze. Maybe she should be on your show, Tism, because
We can get Cardi B on the show. We're gonna get Cardi B on the show. What are you kidding me?
I'm
I mean,
voting for Cardi B. Yeah.
This is good. No, look, prices have gone up a lot. My bagel store, like
Oh,
now
yeah.
I'm like 2 payments away from a cinnamon raisin. Like we're getting there. Like
Klarna
it-
for breakfast.
this is what, Jessica? Jessica's gonna say something.
They're doing payment plans now on like Grubhub. Aren't they doing that? Didn't we see that on Grubhub? And
You can buy food on payment plan. That's a serious thing. That's a real thing, and that's where
it's
we're
a
getting
real
to.
thing.
You're buying food on layaway. Like I got my eye
Yeah,
on a turkey club. I'm like, I'm like three,
Right,
right.
right.
One of these days, if it works out September 4th, I'll get that turkey club. Like, here you go, Dean. It's like I said, because you just handed to me like in a ball. I'm chatting with Jessica Brodkin, Brittany Brave, and Jason Selvig. So, we already don't believe the data. That's the consensus, everybody here. So
Yeah.
now Donald Trump's new data person, he's nominated EJ Antoni, unqualified political hack. That's the academic way of looking at him. He was on Steve Bannon's podcast a few weeks ago, because that's where reputable economists go, on Steve Bannon's podcast. And this guy was on the grounds on January 6th. He's in the crowd. He's not hitting cops, but he's there when right behind him's the Capitol. And Jason, I think, were you there January 6th? You guys were.
Yeah, EJ and I, we've got something in common. We were both there on January 6th. I think for totally different reasons, though. I was not participating in a riot during an insurrection. I was there, covering it. But yeah, we were both there. I kind of feel like it was a missed opportunity to
100%,
talk with
man.
him.
Yeah, Jason, you had general admission and EJ had VIP.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
VIP, all you needed was a flagpole and like the ability to punch a cop in the face, I guess, to get the VIP.
But think about this situation. So now, up until now, honestly, when we got the unemployment numbers or the jobs numbers, I assume they were relatively accurate. Now we can't even trust this. So not only did Trump affirm it to be lying, this is really an important issue for our economy. If foreign investors can't count on the data, they don't invest in America. Treasury bonds get more pricey, borrowing costs go up. There's a lot of things. So this is really bad. And we're just continuing on this path of like, believe nothing from the government, but there's actually a consequence here that can affect all of us. And that's the problem. I mean, Jessica, we'll tap on your CIA background here, but if a government is all it's doing is lying to the people and to the world, I mean, isn't it like a house of cards? I mean, is there a point where it just implodes?
I mean, you said this earlier, but I guess we're watching America descend into darkness and the rise of fascism. So, I mean, this is just like a fascism playbook. That's why a lot of the what do you call it? The academics who study fascism and authoritarianism have left America like a while ago, a few months ago.
Well, Jason Stanley and Timothy Snyder's like, we're out. This is a really important fight. America's on the line. We're going to be in Canada for this though, but we'll be cheering you. I'll be the Tim Hortons watching you on TV, cheering for you as I get a coffee.
Yeah.
And I like Jason Stanley. He comes on my show, but you're right. It was like a weird thing. Like this is the most important fight of our lives, which I'll be in Toronto for.
That's very funny. But also, I mean, what you're bringing up is the weakening of the American dollar, right? And how that's going to impact all of us.
It's not good at all. Brittany, like what's in the big vibe of things right now? Where do you stand? Like when you're talking to people, like where America is, our descent into whatever this is.
Yeah. Well, first off, as a stand-up comedian, my American dollar couldn't be more weak. So I really can't.
It's sliding?
Yeah, it's a downward trajectory. Unrelated, I'm doing Steve Bannon's podcast after this.
That's a career
busy day for me.
You'll
I'm
be
on a press tour, but
your crowds will be packed with young white guys with MAGA, not even young. I mean, they listen to Bannon, probably older white guys who look like Steve Bannon, but they'll love you.
Dean, come on. I lived in Florida for 3 years. So yeah, I mean, to Jessica's point, to everybody's point, I think we always had a suspicion that our government maybe didn't necessarily always have our best interest at heart or didn't always have our backs. And I definitely think with the latest Trump administration, it's not only confirmed, but it's swung the other way where you're just seeing your elected officials and your president actively doing things to hinder your life on every level, financially, your basic human rights. And I had a conversation with a couple of my friends recently, and we were talking about how America was built as a business and how if you ever thought that your government was here to protect you or that your government had your best interests at heart, they didn't. They viewed you as an employee. Because of capitalism and consumerism, your value in America is always based off of how much money you make, what skills you have, and what you can do to contribute to the American machine. Hence why we don't take care of veterans. Hence why we don't take care of the disabled. Hence why we treat immigrants like trash, everything, everywhere in between.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, well, you're not being protected by your government. You're working for them. That's the American dream. That's the American work ethic. So, and I even think now that doesn't really have value per se. So, it just kind of feels like a lawless land because it's like, who do you turn to when you maybe can't always trust law enforcement? You can't trust your president. You can't trust any of the systems that have been in place. Now it's like, we're all vigilantes. It's like citizen journalism. It's like citizen politics at this point, which is scary.
Those are great points by your friends. Are your friends Bernie Sanders and Zoran Mandami?
Yes, I'm doing their podcasts later today as well.
They sound really smart, and I agree with them. So
they wrote that for me, actually. Yeah.
Jason, is it time for us to call Ghostbusters? I'm not even sure what to say at this point. We are lost.
I just think it's crazy why EJ, and I'm at a first name basis with him because it's January 6th and shared history. But I think it's crazy why he even got the job. He got the job because Trump was so sensitive that when job numbers came out that he didn't like, that everyone says, if you work in this agency, if you're in charge of putting out these statistics, there's no way you make up these numbers or you are doing something political with these numbers. There's a process to do it. And yes, numbers will change when you get more data, but the fact that he felt the need to fire somebody because they didn't give him the numbers that he liked and put somebody in who, like conservative economists have said, is completely unqualified. And I do research,
Mhm.
to come on this show.
Thank
I
you.
like
I appreciate
prepare
that.
things. And
Wow.
I actually
Thank you.
read the bullet points of an article. And this is a quote from a conservative economist who said, I've been in several programs with him, EJ, at this point, and I've been impressed by two things: his inability to understand basic economics and the speed of which he's gone MAGA, which is like, I mean, that kind of says like he's checked the boxes for Donald Trump. Like the biggest thing is not being qualified for anybody in the
Right, right.
administration. It's loyalty to Donald Trump. So now you have these people who are basically like yes men, but their job is not a yes men job. The
Right.
job is like to put out statistics and numbers that can like help run the economy and make us like a country that people want to trade with. So it's a very, very scary place. And it's like, it's all because Donald Trump is so sensitive. He's just so sensitive. He needs everybody to tell him he's great. And when that doesn't happen, like literally hell breaks loose and you end up with a totally unqualified person in a position of power.
Yeah, I'm from Miami. Trump is what we call a little bitch. And
Wow, that's nice. Yeah.
Never
yeah,
heard that term before.
that's the clinical term for this.
LB. I like that. Jason, I talked to a congresswoman earlier today, Becca Ballin from Vermont, who said she's been discussing with people that they're watching the news and seeing some Trump supporters whose spouse was an undocumented immigrant and was getting deported. And the person like, no, I think I did the right thing though, voting for Trump. Like they were still,
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. So you're like, what's going on? And my thought, and you've talked to these people more, is that it's beyond politics or anything. It's like a religion or a cult, whatever way, that this is their self-identification and self-worth as a person. So if they turn on the group, there's no one, they have no friends. There's no one left.
No,
So
it's like a social circle a little bit. It's like it's part of your community, especially like now as especially in 2020, everybody's shifted to like an online community like
Right.
during the pandemic, and that's where a lot of these people like bought into these conspiracy theories and things like that. And it is a religion. Like if you don't go and like we've seen several people with Donald Trump tattoos, and we've seen several people who like go and dress as Donald Trump and have all like probably 20 shirts they buy at every single rally. You don't go and like be like, I'm gonna throw out my wardrobe at this point. You don't go and be like, I'm gonna pay for this tattoo removal. Like this is a life commitment that a lot of these people, especially like these are not the swing voters, but the people that go to these rallies, that they've committed to. So it's like I don't think they're going to be like changing their mind anytime soon with it. Also, it's funny. I kind of wish DeVron was here because he talked to somebody at the NRA convention this year who said that one of his roommates was an undocumented immigrant, and he was excited for Trump and he was happy about all of the action that he's taking with ICE. But he's like, I really don't. That's like he's like one of my good friends. I really don't want him to be deported. But he also in like the same breath was like supporting Donald Trump and like these arrests that are happening at Home Depots and immigration hearings. So I don't know. I mean, it's like we all we're all like have many like parts of our personalities, but to be like talking out of both sides of your mouth, it kind of feels like that's what you have to do to support Donald Trump.
Unbelievable. Jessica, I mean, again, I don't want to keep going back to CIA officer because that was a while ago, but still, this is dangerous. The idea of tattoos and buying all these shirts, and you're not doing the tattoo and buying the shirts because Donald's going to see it. You're doing it because your peers are going to see it, and that moves you up the social pecking order, I assume.
What I find really fascinating, and maybe I'm wrong, but my view is that everything that's happening is a symptom and not, do you know what I mean? A symptom of a greater cause, of like, what is about human nature that people break themselves into cults, or that they worship their leaders, or that they elect people who represent their shadow. I think it's just like, I mean, I know that a lot of awful things are happening, but it's also, I'm just interested in sort of like, what is the human nature that allows this to happen? And that is like really dark and just fascinating. I'm not sure if this is the direction you want to go, but that's sort of where my head is at, because humans are like, people are doing the same thing over and over and over again in multiple countries, right? Like my family comes from Russia. They lived under a totalitarian regime that they escaped. And so for me, and what, like my other DNA's from Iran, that's not going great, you know, like, and so it's weird to, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I don't know if that helps.
I think we're good. You summed it up very abruptly there at the end. Those are my thoughts.
No. I mean, I'm interested in, like,
I thought it was a great point you made, and then you're like, stop.
No. I just feel like there's a human nature that happens.
I agree with you.
And what is this darkness, and how do we address the darkness? Because Donald Trump, like, we can sit here and make fun of Donald Trump and say whatever we want, but the truth is that half of the country, or arguably not, but a lot of people voted for him, and a lot of people remain devoted to him. So it's like, what is going on in our brains that allow this? I don't know.
No, you're right. It's not political. It's much deeper. This is not, we're not dealing with political movement. That's why sociologists and fascism experts and others, but okay, we don't have to make fun of Trump because South Park is doing a great job of that.
Amazing.
No, but I like
out of the park.
South Park hitting it out of the park. Very nice. And their latest episode got the highest rating since 2018 and the biggest ever of young adults in the history of the show. And it was about a little bit about Trump, but this one was more about Kristi Noem, where she's just shown continuously shooting dogs. And she's the Homeland Security Secretary, and arresting anyone Latino in the episode. And I love that last week she got her response to it was hashtag eat a bag of dicks, because that's when you're Homeland Security, you're a cabinet member. That's how you respond. She literally responded like, 'cause she's cool, right? But I think it's kind of interesting. South Park now is filling the void what corporate media and journalists have just failed so miserably. 100%. So many.
Yeah. It feels like Saturday Night Live. It feels like what Saturday Night Live should be doing, but over the years has kind of lost its edge. And I mean, I understand too, Saturday Night Live is on NBC, and that's a completely different network, and it is a different show. I understand all these other factors, but this is raw, unfiltered political commentary, and it's the kind of risk-taking that's needed right now to expose this country to the people that are in denial or thinking that things are going well. Like, you know, it's true art, to be honest, not to be all hippy-dippy, but it's like, this is where the rebellious energy should be channeled, is in stuff like this. So the people who, you know, are turning a blind eye to all the terrible things that are happening are laughing their way through the truth. So I feel like there's no other show right now or no other program that I can think of that's taking these really necessary risks and doing it in a very funny, savage way. So yeah.
That's a great point. They are taking a risk in this environment, and you know their company, their umbrella company, which is merged with Skydance, merged with Paramount, and now it's under the son of a very right wing guy. Larry Ellison is a big right wing guy who funded this. His son is, they say, not as right wing, but we'll find out. David Ellison, but we're going to see. So I mean, Jessica, like, how important do you think? How important is comedy now? How important are the whoever's telling the truth, if it's through comedians or on independent media, in the time where corporate media has utterly failed on so many levels?
This is our time to shine. This is what this is our Super Bowl. This is our Super Bowl
right now, in this moment.
In this moment in history, this is our Super Bowl. This is it. This is the like peak performance of the hero's journey. You know, journalists have failed us. This is what we're here to do. I mean, I've been a comedian for a long time. I think we all have, and comedy is a rough sport. The whole process is it's a challenge, even at different levels of success. But you know what? We're still here. We're still in the Coliseum, covered in blood. You know what I mean? Fighting the lions, and this is our moment.
Are you not entertained? Are you not
entertained? This is what we came for. People, like, I've been like made fun of and shit on and whatever for being a comic, and like, you know, all of these things, and struggled, but the truth is, like, we're here to tell the truth, but not just to tell the truth. We're here to use art to change the world. This is our journey.
I like the delusionalness of that. No, I tell people that we're all a little delusional by doing this. Even the idea of making a living being a comedian is delusional.
It's delusional.
Crazy. Right.
I'm a healer. That's insane. That's insane.
So
what am I doing?
I like the idea that we believe we can change the world, because I subscribe to that delusional belief. I do. So I'm not mocking it. I said it's a little delusional, but it's all right. So Jason, where do the good liars come in here? Is this your time to shine? Is this the big moment for you and DeVrom?
I don't know. I do want to give the credit to Trey Parker and Matt Stone for like going out there and like doing what other billionaires won't do, which is stand up to Trump. They signed a $1.5 billion deal that who knows if they'll make it towards the to the end of the
I know.
contract with it. But they're super wealthy and they're going after Trump. And the great thing about South Park is it's been 30 years. They've still got their fastball. They're still, they're still as harsh as ever. But next week, they could do after just going after Trump and Noam, they could do an episode that's just like all about the left and destroying the left. And like it will still be funny. And they'll still and that's what makes them so great is they're not part of a political party. They're literally just out there going out and making fun of what needs to be made fun of. The thing about corporate media is it's like, I mean, and maybe this is beating a dead horse, but like at this point, like how much does that matter? Because like most people are like on YouTube, they're listening to podcasts. They're like, their news source is not the corporate media. And I know like people are like getting things to talk about from the corporate media on these shows because nobody's like doing any actual journalism or anything like that. But at this point, it's like, I feel like the ship has sailed, and not maybe just for society in general. I don't want to get too dark here, but I feel like Jessica was getting very introspective and maybe I need to be doing the same thing right now. But like the ship maybe has already sailed because like we don't all have the same news sources, and even 6.8 million viewers, like you can want to compare that to the Super Bowl or, a regular, a preseason NFL game. Like those are the same numbers. So like, I hope it's making a difference, but like I feel very I don't know, a little worried about the future, just given like the whole media landscape right
We're
now.
all worried. One quick thing though about the ratings, things like South Park also explode online that aren't measured the same way. So it's reaching much more than like Greg Gutfeld, who actually has huge ratings on Fox News, which is ridiculous. But Gutfeld, like those viewers aren't going to share a lot of stuff online. And this kind of stuff, they are. Jessica, you had your hand up. Was there a question you have to ask or something?
I think I'm a Reiki healer and I know a lot of
Reiki
spiritual
healer,
people.
right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right.
And I
It's
know a
good.
lot of spiritual people, including my students. And I have this one student who's a Harvard lawyer, who went to Harvard Law, was a corporate lawyer for a while, and became a Taoist, right? And she has
Became a
this
Taoist?
Taoist.
Wow.
She's a Tao, right?
Right.
Brilliant
Yin yang
person.
stuff.
She's like half indigenous. She's like a shaman Taoist Reiki master. She's a brilliant person. You should have her on your show. Anyway,
Go ahead.
I can. You're so funny. I love this. She has this theory, and a lot of people do, that we as a Taoist, one of the Taoist theories is that as globally and society, the darkness is coming out. The darkness of human nature and governments is all coming out so that we can transmute it. And that's why fascism is rising. This is a theory. That's why fascism is
And
rising.
what does transmute mean? Just so I understand.
Oh, good. I was going to ask too.
I know.
Thank you.
What is
Transmute
transmute?
so that we can change it. The dark, it's almost like we're seeing the darkest parts of humanity, the darkest parts of government is being brought to the surface, and that things are collapsing in order for them to shift and change. This is a theory
This
that I
is
just
like,
wanted to bring
it's
forward.
like the poop floats
The
theory.
poop floats.
Right.
Yeah. The shit
And
floats.
then you get
gotta
rid of
do
it. And
yes,
then
yes.
that would be Donald
And
Trump.
then you can have a clean pool, right?
Who's
Then you
on
can
his way
put
to Russia?
chlorine in the pool.
Right. Trump's on his way to Alaska now, and I hope he just goes right to Russia, that he can keep the plane. And I mean, I think we're all with that, right? You can keep Air Force One. We'll give you gas for a year. Just don't come back. All right, we got to take a break and come back. We'll do a topic that's, well, the South Park was upbeat a little bit. I think Trump picking the Kennedy Center honorees and making sure there were no, quote, wokesters is kind of funny, given who he actually picked. So let's talk about that and more right after this quick break. And welcome back, Dean Obeidallah Show. It is still Friday, August 15th, and our friends are still here. Jessica Brodkin, Jason Selvig, and Brittany Brave. So Donald Trump announced the Kennedy honorees. One will touch about how Tom Cruise reportedly said no to it, but so he says, I turned down plenty. They had a couple of wokesters they wanted, and who did he pick? Country musician George Strait, Sylvester Stallone, the original star of Broadway's Phantom of the Opera, Michael Crawford, Gloria Gaynor, and the rock band Kiss. And look, I don't know the politics of everyone, but Kiss is known for wearing high heels and makeup. They were like in their entire body.
So is Trump though. So is Trump. He wears lipstick
So is
makeup
JD
too. I
Vance.
don't know. Like, what are
Or
we saying?
JD Vance.
Maybe they inspired JD Vance and Michael Crawford. This is Broadway musical. This is everyone involved was woke in the productions of the show. So I'm like,
And gay.
do you even know?
Yeah.
Right, gay. I'm like, what is going on? And when you look at the years before, it was the group of people really weren't that much different. I mean, I was looking, it was like Billy Crystal, and there was a singer, it was like Barry Gibb and Queen Latifah. I mean, it's not that much different, but here he is making a big deal. And unfortunately, checking another box on that fascist playbook about the idea of controlling cultural institutions is a big part of it. But I don't know, like, are they not woke, Brittany? I mean, these names could have been picked any other year, to be honest. It's not like it wasn't like Kid Rock and John Voight and those people, like, except for Stallone, they're like kind of normal.
They kind of feel like people that would only appear in his nightmares, kind of like.
Yes.
So it's interesting to be honoring them, or like in a fever dream or something. I also just wokesters. I kind of like it. It's giving us libtards some street cred. It kind of feels like an underground mafia now. I guess I'm a wokester, Dean, and so
We
are
should
you.
own that term. That feels like a term that we should take back.
It's like
right?
50 Cent. It's like 50 Cent. You say you're a wokester.
Wokester.
Does he say that? 50 Cent is on Trump's team, though.
And then it's also too just peak narcissism. Just when we think he can't get any more narcissistic than he was before, he also talks about honoring himself. So he's putting himself in some dangerous wokester company. That's all I'm trying to say.
It'll be interesting to see who he would. I mean, Jessica, what do you think about the reporting that Tom Cruise said no? Do you think Tom Cruise gets audited now? I mean, how does this work? You're a CIA analyst. Like,
I mean,
how did they
I
punish him? Mission Impossible gets shut down. The set if they, I don't know if he's doing anymore.
I mean, is Tom Cruise like a person? Isn't he like a Scientology like lizard? Like, what's happened? Like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, does he have any like brain cells behind his eyes and his veneers? I'm not sure. You know.
They said he declined due to, quote, scheduling conflicts. So maybe he was doing something with.
Yeah, he might have been jumping out of an airplane or something.
No, he's already in a cult. He's like, I'm already in a cult. I can't, MAGA's a cult. I can't get involved in another cult.
Thank you, Jason.
I've got one cult.
I think my cult has a better fashion sense than your cult.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We're going to find out because I'm sure at some point Trump will be like, he didn't say no. That's all a lie. That kind of stuff. Like, everything's a lie. I don't know what. All I can say is the more that we can't agree on any facts, the better it is for Trump. I mean, and that's the world he's trying to create, where there's not any, you can't trust, he doesn't care if you can't trust the labor data numbers. That's fine. He can't trust Tom Cruise canceled. Whenever you have that wiggle room, and I guess, Jason, for you talk to his supporters, then they'll just fill in the gap with whatever he said, right? Those are the facts. It doesn't matter what we say or the newscaster or fact checker.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, maybe it'll be Tom Cruise will like work his way into like some QAnon conspiracy. Like he was going and arresting the underground ring of Satan worshipers or something like that. But it's like Brittany, you were talking about this. Like, it's like, he's like an 8-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Who has become president and being like, what would be the coolest thing I could do? Oh, the Kennedy Center. I can host it. It'll be me doing it up there. And then I'll have remember Rambo? Oh, that'd be so cool if he came out and maybe he's got a gun and he shoots it and it's so cool. It's so cool.
Kind of like Home Alone.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, he is like the god. I always feel like he's like found a genie in a bottle and this was one of his wishes and now we all have to like live through it or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, everything is about me all the time and it's going to make me happy. And now you have actual people who are like afraid, not just to lose their job, but like to have like death threats and have their family threatened. And they'll be like, yes, sir. Whatever you want, sir. So it's like the Kennedy Center. It's not going to stop here. It's going to be like, there's going to be he's going to take over like the national alerts. If there's like a hurricane coming, he's going to be the guy who like breaks into the radio.
Oh, you get like a voice on your thing. It's like, it's Donald Trump. Take shelter.
Donald Trump is like, I need to be the voice of Siri from now on. So I'm going to be involved in all of it. And like, that's a joke, but maybe, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The
Go ahead,
red
Jess.
zone is for unloading
Oh,
and
the boys,
loading
the
only,
upper.
folks.
Yeah, he would do
That
it,
was a
but he
terrible
would do
Trump, by
that.
the way. I don't know what that was supposed to be Trump.
He would do that, and he'd want to get paid though. Like I don't know where the tariff money's going. Like we would assume it's going to the Treasury. He could be taking 10%. There's nothing to stop him. DOJ is not going to prosecute him. Congress is not going to investigate. Supreme Court's going to protect him. He's got immunity for official acts. We don't live in what was the United States of America. This is insane times.
We are, but I also believe that nearly every president was a war criminal, even in American history, whether it's Republican or Democrat. I think they're all
I wasn't bringing up the war criminal. I was saying just criminal, but
just
sure.
criminal. A war
You're saying
criminal,
war
criminal.
okay,
I
sure.
just like don't trust the whole system. Although I did see, I don't remember the name of this comic. He did say that he thinks that Donald Trump, if he would have just been like to have Joan Rivers' job on the red carpet, that it would have been amazing. Like instead of the president. Like, I'm sorry, honey, that the outfit. No, you know what I mean? Like instead of
like mocking and stuff like that.
mocking outfits on the red carpet, 10 out of 10.
Years ago, like now his brain's
Not
working
now.
well. I mean, let's be
No.
blunt. I mean, I know I'm a partisan hack, and I am, and I'm proud of that. I'm a wokester partisan hack. But
The thing is, like, how can
his
you
brain's not
tell?
working.
Because it's like
It's a little worse, I think. I honestly think it's worse.
he's definitely a little more dead in the eyes, and fingers crossed. So,
And
but
he
it's
walks
like,
hunched over. Look how he walks. He's like a penguin now. Like this is not the normal Trump. Trump used to be like walking on like into a room like he owned it. Now he comes in like shuffles in and stuff like that. That's signs of the great degradation, like of aging. That's
yeah, he used to be a bright Florida orange shade, and now he's rustic. He's rustic and a little pale.
We're gonna see. So let's talk about something that is kind of deeply alarming, and that's Donald Trump sending the National Guard to Washington, D.C. based on lies. The most frustrating thing is watching corporate media going, well, Democrats better watch out because they don't want to seem soft on crime. Like this had anything to do with crime, you stupid idiots in the corporate media. This is about control. This is not about crime. At least some of them fact check the lies. But I mean, the idea that he's sending the troops into DC because he's concerned about us Democrats. He wants to make sure we're safe. The same people he said he hates Democrats in July. He literally said, I hate Democrats. This is not to protect us. It's to control us. He wants to oppress us. And how corporate media misses that. Well, corporate, it has gone down, crime, but there's still crime. There's crime everywhere. Of course there's crime everywhere. It's bullshit. But, the weirdest thing is my friend was on yesterday, Angela Corzone from Media Matters. There are checkpoints in Washington, D.C., in American City. Checkpoints. You have to have your ID. It's like out of the movie Children of Men from like 2006. It's like out of movies from, they were at one point dystopian future. They're here. The dystopian future is here. So, I mean, Brittany, we're going to have checkpoints. They're going to come in New York, it's going to be unbelievable to have checkpoints in our own cities, but we're going to have this now.
Yeah, well, it does kind of feel like we're all at war against ourselves, and this country's at war against itself. So it's kind of unsurprising at this point, to be honest.
I agree 100%. We are at war, and it's only Democrats that don't understand. They're not here to govern with policy. They're here to rule us. And until Democrats get that, thankfully, Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, actually said 2 weeks ago, we are at war. And talking about Trump and the redistricting. Like, you're finally waking up. This is a war. This is their permanent majority, the 1,000-year Reich. That's what they're trying to do here.
Yeah, and it's like right wing and any kind of Trump supporter isn't going to initially see it as war, obviously, because it's them getting everything that they wanted, and they think they're just blindly trusting their orange leader and that everything that he does is correct. But what I will say is the twisted silver lining about everything that's happening in the country now is he's on such a rampage, kind of like what Jason said, how him being like a toddler, like it's almost like he's had too much sugar and then someone let him loose in the White House. And it's going to get to a point where everybody's affected by his terrible decision making and the things that he's doing in this country, right? Like it's so widespread at this point that like across race, across economic status, across anything, even his own supporters. I mean, we're even watching some of his own supporters starting to not necessarily turn on him, but I mean, look at even like Rogan and Andrew Schultz, who went super MAGA and had him on and pushed his platform. And now they're going, wait a minute, this isn't the country I voted for. And it's like, well,
it was.
Well, it was. And for better and for worse, he's a man of his word in the worst way possible. Like he's doing all the things he said he would do. So again, like you were saying, Jessica, too, how it has to get worse or get darker before it gets better. The only messed up silver lining to this is that he's on such a rampage. It's affecting everybody now. Rich, poor, everybody's life is going to be
True.
affected
true.
for the worse.
Really
And
true.
it's just a matter of time. And if you don't think your life is, you just wait. You're one bill away, one
An
announcement.
executive
away.
order, right? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. One barricade away, something. So
It's interesting that I have no doubt things are going to get darker. I don't know how much darker. We're not at the bottom yet. Right? We're
No.
only 7 months in to this nightmare. I think we're going to see. All I can say is we're going to keep doing the show until they come for me. That's all I can think of. I think we are, but I think, Brittany, you make a point that I make on my show all the time, and I know it's unnerving for people to hear it. We are at war, and the war is the president of the United States is declared a war against anyone who doesn't submit to him, whoever that is. You can even be a Republican. He's coming for you. And no one's stopping. And he is like a baby. Like, you ever see like the Chiron on CNN? It's like Donald Trump is angry today. It's like Donald Trump is colicky today. Like, it's gonna be like all the baby things. He didn't sleep. He's very upset. He spit up.
Donald
earlier.
Trump is missing his boo-boo. Donald Trump did not get milk before
If you
bed.
found his blanket, please contact the White House.
And and to your point about corporate media just kind of like letting him slide and not like necessarily telling what the actual truth is, it kind of reads to me either like someone in a really abusive relationship justifying the terrible behavior of the person they're with. Like, no, I know, like he hit me last night, but he's trying and he didn't really hit that
But he
hard.
gives me White House press credentials, so
Yeah,
it's okay.
so
Yeah,
it's okay. Or like a mom or a dad of a problem child, and they're like, he's biting people, and they're like, but he's creative, right? Like that's how we're like
You're right.
justifying what he's doing. Again, until it smacks us in the face and we realize, oh,
Right.
I'm at war with myself.
The worst is when the reporters stand there in the Oval Office and he's spewing lies, and they know they're lies, but they know if they ask that tough follow-up question, they're not going to be any more White House briefings. That's how it goes. It's that simple, right? So you've got that, and you're like, why even do it? Why even go in there? Just let his sycophants. Oh, the guy from Newsmax, Brian, that guy, right, Jason, that you know.
Brian Glenn, my good friend.
Brian Glenn, yeah.
Brian Glenn.
Who's like, you're gonna love this question. He actually got caught like on a hot.
He was caught out. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna ask a question, and you guys are gonna love it. And it was just like, why is the Oval Office so pretty? You did such a great job. Why do you think you did? But I want to say something about the National Guard and like just the whole thing about soft on crime. It's like, what about like soft on authoritarianism? Like, don't be soft on authoritarianism. Like, don't allow the military to come in and like take over cities, especially like cities that are run by Democrats. And the other thing about this is going in and talking to Trump supporters. A lot of the people, like we've talked about this a lot, like the QAnon belief and all this, which is like a not a huge part of them, but it is enough. It was a very violent part, as we saw on January 6th.
Sure.
These people, like when this is happening and they see the National Guard and the military go into U.S. cities, this is like red meat to them. And these are the same people, they get excited because they think the military is going to make all these mass arrests of all these people who are like, have these Satan worshiping rings and things like that. They're excited about it. These are the same people who like have a conspiracy mindset, and they would always talk to us about Jeffrey Epstein and how this is a terrible scandal that happened with Jeffrey Epstein before all these Trump acted all shady about it. So I do think that there is this isn't like the conspiracy brain thinking, but these same people who are asking questions and upset about Jeffrey Epstein are now like excited about the National Guard going into U.S. cities and the military being used against U.S. citizens.
But because they want them to arrest Democrats. They're not there to protect Democrats, right?
No, because there's a fantasy about like arresting all these people who like have these child sex trafficking rings it's just this whole QAnon thing that a lot of people believe in.
All right. Well, last topic, because we only have a few minutes left. Here's courtesy of Taylor Swift, she appeared on the episode of New Heights, the football and culture podcast, hosted by her boyfriend Travis Kelce and his brother Jason. And she said she's taken strides to, quote, detach from the internet in a huge way, adding she's turned off the comments on her Instagram and stuff for a decade. She was, anything you feed your brain it'll internalize. Anything you feed the internet, it will kill. I'm like, this is kind of interesting. She's thought this through. So there's Taylor Swift, a billionaire who is still, it's like, I got to turn the comments off because they're just that ugly and that bad. So, I mean, do you guys, Brittany, you post a lot of stuff on on social media? Do you have the comments on? Do you turn them off? Like, how do you deal with any kind of negativity on there?
Well, I'm not as famous as Taylor Swift. Almost.
Yet.
Almost.
Almost.
Right.
for sure.
Close.
Yes.
Right. So I need all the engagement I can get. So I welcome the trolls. I also have a temper. I'm a second generation Sicilian, so I like to fight. I like to fight. So I reply and I get my numbers up and I get my views up. But you know what? I'm gonna agree with Tay Tay. It's negativity and you have to filter it. But I'm at a stage in my career where no press is bad press, so I may not be the person to ask.
So by fighting with people on your Instagram, let's say, you get more engagement and it gets
Yeah.
more followers.
Yeah.
Oh, I should do that.
But
I'm
then
like,
they go back and forth
100%,
and
yeah.
the algorithm's like something fun is happening here. And by the way, I'm pretty sure the algorithm is just a Republican uncle, because the only things that it likes are like women too young for them dancing with large breasts, food, and arguments. So it's like, is the algorithm my dad? Like, I think it's my dad.
algorithm is your
I do.
father. Brittany's dad is controlling the algorithm.
Just hooked up to his brain.
It's
and just
him,
sitting
the
there,
guy-
yeah.
the
Dementia,
guy
he's
from
like a
Duck
swing
Dynasty.
state lately.
The
Like
guy-
I
right.
like one day he's like, we need gay marriage. It's very important. And then 2 seconds later, he's like, build a wall. And I'm like, Dad, I don't know what's happening anymore. So
Oh, your dad's the algorithm. Jessica,
Yeah.
what about you here in the last minute? Do you deal with stuff on the internet? Have you shut it off? Do you engage?
I have been afraid to post, so I am just working through my fear of posting. I barely post
Wow.
online. So I'm just working through that. But I think that's just like, I think the internet is just a place where people's darkness comes out, you know? And a lot of people who post a lot, especially women and women comedians, they'll like go through and see the people who are hating on them. And they're like dads with like little kids, and they'll be posting on Christmas morning. Their kids are opening presents, and meanwhile they're on their phone going like, "You fat ugly cunt," you know, like so.
Wow.
It's
Oh
really
yeah, it's terrible. You
It's
should see what they say in the DMs sometimes too. I've gotten death threats in the DMs. Like men just go out of their way, send my material to me, and they're like, "You stupid bitch. This is why women shouldn't do comedy. Kill yourself." It's I don't know if you know, it's men, there's an internalized hatred towards women in this country. Just a
I
little.
know.
Just a little.
Three women are killed every day by their boyfriend or ex every single day in America. It doesn't get talked about because it makes men uncomfortable. So
course.
Jason, as a man, now defend it.
Please, yes, please.
No, it's horrible. So what do you do with the internet?
I
Because
have to defend these Christmas morning DMs, actually. I just have to speak up here.
But you deal with Trump supporters and you post things. I imagine there's some liberals who don't know what you're doing, maybe, or some people in the middle who don't know what you're doing. They think you're pro-Trump, anti-Trump, whatever. Like, how do you deal with the comments? And I shouldn't say liberals, just anyone who doesn't get it, or they do get it and they don't like it. I mean,
well, no, I mean, it's like we definitely, checking DMs is never a fun thing. Just like the things that the words you will see that you don't see very often that directed at you. And it's not a fun thing. I think Taylor Swift is right. We did actually yesterday we posted these like ICE recruitment flyers up, satirical.
oh, satirical. Okay.
Yes. And then we put a website on there, and then there's like a little form thing you could fill out, and like the stuff, and we made the mistake, I guess, of posting on Twitter because all these like super right-wing people, I'm assuming, are just sending like racial slurs to this form thing on there, which is just like, it is demoralizing. So I agree with Taylor Swift. If you want to feel happy, let a little bit of an anxiety leave your body, go someplace without internet. Don't take your phone. Go and sit by a body of water and watch the water just flow and feel the wind and smell the fresh air. All that said, I'm going to check my Instagram immediately after we have this call. Yes.
Right.
Brittany, do you want, say what you want, but then do your plugs because we're going to run out of time.
Okay.
And I want everyone to get their plugs in.
I'll do this quickly, and I think everyone here would agree. This isn't even just an internet thing, it's an in-person thing too. Like, I think we need to continue having conversations. And like I said, I'm the person, I love a good argument. I love going in on people, and I love the back and forth. But I think the way I filtered it in my brain is if, like, for instance, the conversation about abortion is starting with, you women are beheading babies at 10 months. I'm like, well, that's probably not a conversation worth having. Right? Like one, I can't fix that he doesn't know biology. But then it's like, if somebody is just pro-life, and it comes from their faith or how they were raised or what, okay, then that's like something proactive. But yes, if the
Sure.
DMs start with, you stupid bitch, women shouldn't do comedy, maybe it's just like, come on, dad, listen, go back
Right.
to work at the algorithm.
So Brittany, where can people follow your work and DM you?
Brittany Brave on everything. I'm also unabashedly going to plug an Indiegogo. I'm crowdfunding for a movie I'm making about Miami comedy. So if you would like to help a young Delulu comic and filmmaker reach her goal, you can find that on my social media as well.
Very, very good. And Jessica, what about you? Where can people follow your stuff?
At Jessica Brodkin on everything. And I'm doing the stand tomorrow at
In New
6
York City.
p.m. in New York City. Yep.
And Jason, what about you and the Good Liars?
Yeah, I'm Jason Selvig at on everything, and then the Good Liars are at the Good Liars on everything. We've got a Substack that we just launched along with everyone else in the world, and we are at TGL NYC on Instagram.
Thank you. You were all three. It was great. It was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. We're taking